Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and we're going to talk about Condor, a comment that Condor DM put in. It's a response to a comment Condor DM left about Wizards of the Coast being far left. So let's jump into this. So let me define Condor DM. I'm fortunate enough to have Condor DM as a commenter on my material. He watches my material and he comments on it. He disagrees with pretty much everything I say. I disagree with pretty much everything he says, right? Why do we have a back and forth? Because I think he's a fair actor, right? He says, here's my opinion. Here's my opinion about Dungeons and Dragons, and I want to convince you of that opinion, and I'll put forward evidence, and then we're going to debate that topic, right? And what I mean by a fair actor, well, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. If you comment on Dungeons and Dragons, a lot of other D&D commentators and commenters, right? YouTube D&D commentators and YouTube commenters will want to engage with you personally. They'll insult you personally. They'll try to take it outside the bounds of the material you're debating, right? So he stays on the material. He just debates the material itself, which I think is really helpful, right? And so I think he's a fair actor. I think he's a smart person who has opinions that are very different than mine. But I like his content, and so I'm responding to one comment that he left a comment that I literally wrote down 7 objections to what he wrote. This is just one. This is me just objecting to one, right? So basically he said, Dungeons & Dragons, Wizards of the Coast, current 5e creators are far left. Wrong. Just to be clear, the Wizards of the Coast staff who are creating Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition right now are not far left. They are simply left, right? And so let me explain this, right? So in this last election, I don't know if you guys were paying attention, in the 2020 election, the Dems were saying then in the election, and are still saying it now, right? Democrats, that people who have college degrees, the government should pay their college loans off. To me, this seems outrageously foolish, right? First of all, they've done the numbers. If you get a college degree, on average, you make $1 million more in your life than if you didn't get it. Period. End of sentence, right? So unless your college degree cost $1 million, they're worth 4 to probably 20 times what you paid, right? So the reality is, like, the idea that people with college degrees today need help from the government and should be written checks worth tens of thousands of dollars is a bog standard left idea. And it's halfway to crazy sauce. I think it's nuts that anybody would think, that people in America who have college degrees, that the government should write them checks for $50,000 to $100,000 to pay off their loans. That's crazy town, in my opinion. I just don't understand why anybody would possibly think that. It doesn't make any sense, right? But that's not a far left idea. That's simply a left idea. So the ideas that are coming out of the Democrat Party today, they're just left. They're not far left, okay? And what you find on the far left is so close to the right, you'd be shocked, right? So the reality is, I'm just taking a minute to correct Condor DM. He was wrong on 7 different points. This is just one, right? Wizards of the Coast D&D design staff is incredibly political, and they make the politics part of the Twitter. Like, it's definitely a thing, right? But the reality is, they're not far left. They're left, right? And the reason why I'm taking the time to talk about this is this is the deep end of the pool, right? Like, I'm not talking to you about, what subclass is best. You'll find out on this is D&D meta, and this is D&D deep, right? And the reality is, they're not far left. They're left. I think Condor DM is wrong, and there's my evidence for it. All that's my opinion. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.